There, now it's working. Okay, welcome to the show. Welcome to episode 3 of season 4 of The Paper Thing, with the brand new backdrop featuring the cursed audience of Alistair Campbell, Keir Starmer, Tim Terribly Dim from The Telegraph, the Boris Johnson, Matthew Goodwin, Piers Morgan, Charles Moore, and Andrew Neil. A truly cursed crew at the bottom of the page. We will be starting today with the look at Empire magazine. Today, Empire's June 2021 issue. I have not actually cracked it yet, so I will be experiencing it in real time with you. Let me just get the paper files where they need to be. Yeah, Goodwin eating his book is a chef's kiss of a picture. Right, let's I've done away with the frame of shame. Now the papers just float in the hell space of the negative hell space. Right. Okay. Hey, SK, good to see you. Transform. Rotate now. I have no idea why it decides to... No, Dan, you're here now. You've entered the hellscape. There is no escape from the show. You are here in the negative zone. Yes. Welcome The season 4 of TPT is we're entering the truly cursed stage here with our audience, which I will be possibly changing on a weekly basis. So do look forward to seeing more cursed creatures trapped here in the media hellscape of the TPT virtual studio. But we are starting with Empire magazine. Which on its front page for the June issue, June 2021, at the top of the page, Ray Fisher is not broken. The Justice League star ends his silence, although he was featured in a Variety article recently, so I think his silence has been ended some time ago. Obviously, main picture on the front page is front cover is Tom Hiddleston. A world exclusive interview with him about the forthcoming Marvel series Loki. And they headline it, The Mischief Maker. Tom Hiddleston gives the first word on the return of Loki and reflects on a career full of surprises. I think that's a great cover. I think it's a really good cover. Also, Attack the Block. They reunite the cast 10 years on. Great feature, I hope. And Top Gun Maverick. Meet Tom Cruise's wingmen and wingwoman. Okay, inside, we're straight onto the editor's letter. No messing about. One ad on the inside cover, but straight into the editor's letter from Terry Wright, the editor-in-chief, and they just give you a little ad for their Empire podcast spoiler special on Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then trying to encourage you to join the Empire VIP Club, which is a perks thing. But yeah, great cover. Moving on. Obviously, contents page, letters page, very small letters page right at the front. Literally 3 letters and 2 tweets. Then in take 20, which is there, which is a good format. It's a countdown of the 20 moments in the movie world at the moment that count. They cover the unlikely resurrection of Han Solo, Fast and Furious star Sung Kang, on the emotional journey of a fan favorite character from a Sundance indie to a $1 billion comeback. You've got Secrets of a Successful Horror Marriage, Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson on how their partnership and Patrick Wilson on how their partnership powers The Conjuring, now set for its 3rd outing. Bizarre to me that, yes, it is a very cursed background. I'm glad to see you here in time for that. Black in Focus, Eamon Warman chews over the main moment in black film and TV this month. Great inclusion from Empire there. And his classic pick of the month is Boys of the Hood 1991. is an incredible film. Deep diving into deep fakes, how the AI face swapping technology could make the move from viral videos to the big screen. I've just written a column about this for somewhere else, which I will tell you about when it comes out. In at number 4, Mamma Mia, the joyous dancing queen sequence of Mamma Mia is the latest film we keep returning to in lockdown. I find that film cursed, to be honest. Trailer talk. They do a breakdown of for the trailer of the new Suicide Squad film. Crazy looking film that might actually be quite good. Conrad Wolfie gonna deep fake myself into a coin. Nice. They have an interview with the guys behind Inside Number 9, which is Reece Shearsmith and Steve Pemberton, about the challenges of filming the new season, which is coming to BBC Two soon. Terry writes, I like Eamon Warman and love that he's got hired. It's deeply frustrating to me that he seems to be the first and only black person they've ever had on staff. Yeah, I think I would agree with you there. But good that at least they're trying to start to make a change. Number 6, how 70s Hollywood inspired a new Danish thriller. Gritty European crime action film Shorter takes inspiration from the work of John Carpenter and Walter Hill. I'm all for that. The man who took Arnie, Bond, and Alien. So that's an obit. Number 8, the maker, it's Yaphet Kotto. He's a really cool guy. He was amazing in Alien. Also in The Running Man. Anyway, number 8, making of a TV icon, another in memoriam for Jessica Walter. They talk about the genius behind her character. Number 9, making of Justice League's final member, how the Martian Manhunter made a surprise appearance in Zack Snyder's Justice League. In the introducing column, they've got Erin Kellyman, Brit Star, who's turned up in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Got something on Meet the Gucci on that Gucci murder film that's coming up with Adam Driver and Lady Gaga. It feels a bit late because given that picture went pretty viral on Twitter, it just feels like a late inclusion in this issue. Outfits are incredible. Pushing the animation boundaries, the co-writer and director of new sci-fi family comedy The Mitchells versus the Machines, on how he made it look very different from its rivals. I want to see that. I've seen the trailer a few times. I think that looks really cool. The Spielberg in Spielberg films. The filmmaker is gearing up for his most autobiographical film ever, but as Empire's Ian Freer explains, he's always added personal touches to his work. His next film is loosely inspired by his Arizona childhood and sees Michelle Williams playing his mother and is co-written by the director and longtime collaborator Tony Kushner. The film seemingly has its roots in I'll Be Home, a project written by his sister Anne in the early noughts. Very personal. That's what scares me the most, Spielberg told Empire at the time. But it would be the first time, he wouldn't be the first time he's put himself into his work. So they talk about Close Encounters, Poltergeist, Bridge of Spies, Catch Me If You Can, E.T., elements of autobiographical stuff in those. Gucci film where Jared Leto seems to be doing a ridiculous accent. He always does ridiculous accent. Terry writes, I always love when animation breaks into new styles rather than trying to copy and paste other shit. Yeah, agreed. Wow, a film from Spielberg about living in the 50s and growing up in the suburbs, but also some mystery. Yeah. They talk about why Emerald Fennell is the right woman for Zatanna. Helen O'Hara, author of Women vs. Hollywood, and why the filmmaker taking on a DC superhero makes sense. Zatanna is a stage and actual musician who engaged in a years-long search for a missing father before joining the Justice League and hanging out with the likes of Constantine. She's fascinatingly flawed, like Fennell's other leading women. Zatanna has, for example, made the mistake of trying to manipulate Batman's memory with her powers. She's right for someone to shake off the dust of her origins, where she was infamous for spells that were just regular phrases spelled backwards, and making her relevant for the first big screen outing. Who better than someone who even made Camilla cool in The Crown? I wouldn't go that far. Conrad Wolfie, I would die happy if I never see another superhero film. It must break at some point. Number 14, rehabilitating the Star Wars Holiday Special with a partial Disney release is a shunned outcast of the Star Wars canon being welcomed back into the fold. Seriously not. It's a terrible It's just terrible. They've got a good interview with Kate Blanchett about her involvement in a Greek indie debut called Apples. Boyd Hilton writes about the shows you should watch if you enjoyed Unforgotten. So he says A Mother's Son, River, A Touch of Cloth, and Gormenghast are all worth a watch. Zatanna is a cool character, yeah, no denying that. Borat 2 breakout star Maria Bakalova on her remarkable journey from obscurity to an unlikely Academy Award nod. That's pretty good. How to finally get the talisman right. Scott Wampler, co-host of the Stephen King podcast, The Kingcast, on what the just announced TV adaptation needs to bear in mind. They have a little chat with Jamie Bell, who seems like a nice lad. Sienna Miller is in the Pint of Milk interview. That's a good format. I enjoy that format. They review Falcon and the Winter Soldier and give it 3 stars. It's been getting a bit of a kick in, actually. I think it's a better series than that. I've enjoyed it, but, you know. Godzilla vs. Kong gets 2 stars. Seems reasonable. Black Bear, 4 stars. Tom and Jerry movie only gets 2 stars, rightly. Judas and the Black Messiah is a 4-star from them. Yeah. Anyway, lots of other good reviews. Zack Snyder's Justice League only gets 3 stars. That I think they had the issue where that came out between issues for them. Line of Duty Season 6, 2 episodes out of 7 seen by them, and they give it a 4-star rating. I think that's fine. I think it's better. I can't wait to see Judas. Yep. What's the Pint of Milk format? Ask Gapes. I see Gapes. Pint of Milk format is basically they ask a load of questions about various normal things in your life. Like, do you have a nickname? When were you most starstruck? Do you have a signature disc? What's the worst smell in the world? How much is a pint of milk? You know, the classic test to see how disconnected a star is. So Sienna Miller's answer was, oh my god, how much is a pint of milk? This is how they got David Cameron. I guess it depends on where you're going to buy it. To be fair, I don't want to get this wrong. 60p? I'm into oat milk now. Other questions they asked, like, when were you last naked outdoors? Have you ever written fan mail to anyone? What scares you? What poster was on your wall as a kid? What did you play in your first school play? She played the Angel Gabriel. Have you ever knowingly broken the law? She says yes, pauses for a long time and then doesn't say how. And what's the strangest place you've ever thrown up? She said, over the side of a balcony at a New Year's Eve party at a princess's house, onto their breakfast table laid out for the following morning. It was a tactical puke that I got away with. I carried on dancing and felt much better. I didn't know the princess. I just sort of ended up there, as you do at New Year's in a foreign place, and proceeded to puke on her breakfast table, which I feel bad about. You know, it's a New Year's Eve party. These things happen. Last naked outdoors, why would you be naked ever? Her answer was, I was last naked outdoors in November when I went wild swimming with my best friend in a lake. Naked in a lake in November? Presumably she was somewhere that was a little bit warm. Industrial Part, hey, you have not missed much. We're on page 34 of the current issue of Empire. Anyway, Zack Snyder's Justice League only gets 3 stars. The Irregulars, which is a new Netflix series about the Baker Street Irregulars, is they've seen 5 of 8 episodes and they give it 3 stars. Sort of ended up at a princess's party is deeply audacious and I love it. Yeah, that's proper good star shit. Right, okay, we are on to the Tom Hiddleston interview. Good opening spread of pictures, you know, split between the kind of serious one and then him breaking into the laugh. It's nice, good photos, solid spread there. It's I mean, the photography in this is top class. And as ever with Empire, you know, or reliably with Empire, it's a solid interview, if not a spectacular one. You know, Tom Hiddleston is very photographically photogenic, isn't he? Photos by Steve Schofield, who I think shoots for Empire fairly often. I mean, you know, another great. These are solid shots. The kind of shots that when you were a teenager and you like wanted to see pictures of your favourite stars, you would be you know. Why haven't they ever cast him as the Joker? He'd be perfect. Mainly because I think Marvel have got him locked down at the moment. Next on the way, adapting a Pulitzer Prize-winning tale of escaped slaves into a TV show proved the toughest challenge Barry Jenkins has ever faced, but the Underground Railroad had to be made. Again, great shot. That is a... Sorry, there's a lot... You're getting a bit of shine on there, but see, that is a great shot. That is a really nice bit of photography. Annoyingly handsome is a thing, right? Yeah, definitely. So anyway, again, this is a good one. Sort of another classic of the Empire model, which is getting really good access, on-set access there. Another great opening spread there. Classic. Yeah, as Barry Jenkins Stan, I really need to see that show, says Terry writes. I really want to see that show. Read the book. The book was good. The book that it's based on, it was good, if just, you know, traumatizing and terrifying. Ray Fisher is not broken. I think this is a great spread. I think the typography is really good. Photography here by James Van Evers. Article by Hannah Flint. Again, you know, the layouts in Empire are just really good. I do like a sans serif font, to be honest. I'm not a serif font person. That said, that's pretty good. Empire's use of typography and design is pretty reliably good. This is a good in-depth article on the injustice and absolute horseshit and racial shit that Ray Fisher had to put up with during the Joss Whedon time on Justice League. Justice for Ray Fisher. Again, look at that. That is a great spread. Using the Top Gun iconography and breaking it down to give the design there. Really nicely done. Miles Teller. I'm surprised Miles Teller's back getting big parts, to be honest. He did have a bit of a kind of run of being predicted as a complete arsehole. That page I find a bit busy, but again, this is cool. I like this stuff where they tell you about who the new actors and something. Well, I would say Red Tixie, The Guardian occasionally has some quite good design of all the papers going, and FT Weekend sometimes does that. Anyway, this is really quality issue here. Again, I love this spread for the opening of this piece about Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead, which I am going to watch. You know. Anyway, great use of this. Will be a supplied shot from the studio, and then they've cut this nicely. One thing I will say is it's clear that Empire, like so many magazines, are using a lot fewer freelancers than they used to. Chris Hewitt, who's a staff member at Empire, is all over this magazine writing big features. Like they're really making him earn his money. Anyway, this is a beautiful looking feature. You know, I love a zombie film though, and I will a zombie series film. We'll be watching this one. And a good little side panel, a bit of page furniture here on other zombie animals from TV and film. So they got the zombie cat from Pet Sematary, the zombie sheep from Black Sheep, the zombie chickens from Poultrygeist, Night of the Chicken Dead, and the zombie beavers from Zombeavers 2014, which I actually have seen. Good afternoon, Mark Kenosis. How you doing? Then, as they should do, good archive feature on George A. Romero, the true king of the zombie genre. Again, look at that for a spread. This magazine is replete with incredible spreads in this edition. That is a beautifully done piece of design. I love the use of the black and white photo with the you know, the classic red pop of that. Look at that. Love it. So this is a good solid feature on Romero. 1, 2, 3, 4 pages on him, and then again, you know, these what are they called? Where you get a bunch of people back. An oral history of Attack the Block is great. They've got the cast back together, so them then, them now. Again, great layout. What's great here is just simple. Like some of these other, red on black and white is great. Margonosis just got back from town, brought a stack of techno rave disco 12 inches DJ with, plus a Celine Dion record. Nice. Yeah, great use of photography here. Breakdowns of the scenes reminds you of what the film was like if you haven't haven't seen it for a while. Good this stuff is great. When Empire's really good at getting hold of material like concept art sketches, stuff like that. Attack the Block is a great film. Right, in a new regular series, we pay tribute to towering megawatt stars who still roam Hollywood. Now, this I don't like as much. This exists in order to suck up to stars that Empire will need in the future, right? So it's a regular series, play tribute to towering megawatt stars who still roam Hollywood. This time they're talking about Nicole Kidman. Nicole Kidman had done a pretty good amount of interesting film work, but they list here look who are her top box office. So the biggest box office film she was in was 1.5 billion, the 1.15 billion pound Aquaman, which I mean she didn't really have a dominant role in. Golden Compass 372 million, Batman Forever 337 million, Paddington 282 million. Just Go With It 215 million. It's not like she was leading those, the lead in any of those films, really. They say that Eyes Wide Shut was the moment for her. I'm not sure about that. And films she nearly was in: Casino, Notting Hill, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and Other Powers. Interesting. Further in the review section, they talk to Pete Docter, who has been Pixar's brightest spark, working on Monsters Inc., Soul, Up, and others. It's good behind the scenes thing. They reassess and talk about Remains of the Day. Good one. Merchant Ivory in Numbers. I love these things. The bits of page furniture where I used to do these a lot in when I edited the front section of Q. You put these little fact boxes or little side things in it. It really it livens up a spread, but it also you want to pace your section well. Give readers long things to read, but also sort of short nuggets, and that's always good. They talked to David Oyelowo. Sorry, I'm tired and I try and read these surnames too fast. Anyway, they talked to him about his various roles he's played. He's a fantastic actor. I will say it's obvious to me that Empire are trying to be better at both having more diversity in writers, but also diversity in actors and projects they cover, and that is good. They've got a tie-up with Mark Kermode's Scala Radio show where they get him where he chooses music from soundtracks which he likes. This time it's ones with bits of dialogue. The viewing guide, a deep dive into the must-see moments from the month's big release. Talking about Let Him Go. Cult of Kim Newman, the critic and novelist, on this month's straight-to-video pick. So he talks about, B-movie things. You have such mixed opinions on Mark Kermode. I like him. Mark Kenosis, don't worry about it, Mick Wright. Pronounced Mice Righart. Behave yourself. The ranking for Empire writers, 10 movies ordered definitively. So they argue it out to rate Tom Hanks's best 10 movies, or the best of the 10 that they select. So they put A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood at number 1, controversial. Saving Private Ryan at 2, Apollo 13 at 3, Toy Story at 4, Road to Perdition at 5, Catch Me If You Can at 6, Toy Story 2 at 7, Captain Phillips at 8, Castaway at 9, and The Burbs at 10. Interesting. Top Secret, director Mike Lee revisits the key scenes from the critically acclaimed Secrets and Lies. Love stuff like this. The story of the shot, Raiders of the Lost Ark, how they got the shot of the massive rolling rock coming after him. Great, and some instant trivia. Love again. This is great. This gives readers extra value. During the script conference, Spielberg also suggested that the boulder roll over Indy's accomplice. In the final film, Alfred Molina's Satipo is impaled on spikes. 2. It's likely the set piece had its origins in Carl Banks' Disney Ducks adventure comic books, a Lucas Spielberg fave. 1954's The Seven Cities of Ciboa featured a booby-trapped idol that triggers a giant round rock that destroys everything in its path. 3. After every take, the crew had to wait for the broken stalactites to be reattached. And 4. The dive out of the temple to evade the rock was shot later in Hawaii. The leap was performed by a...
Did you say Carl Banks?
No, I didn't say Carl Banks. Oh yeah, I did say Carl Banks, Disney Ducks adventure writer. Not spelt the same way as Carl Banks from Line of Duty. The dive out of the temple to evade the rock was shot later in Hawaii. The leap was performed by stuntman and Harrison Ford lookalike Vic Armstrong. Mark Kenosis misheard that as Story of the Shart, which is very different. I agree. Rockabilly should be not allowed on television. No, I don't actually agree with that. And on the back page, 6 of the best. Team Empire on the month's essential movies. They say Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar, which is out on DVD. I Start Counting, which is a Blu-ray release. The Boon Jong-ho collection out on Blu-ray 19th of April. Donnie Darko out on Blu-ray and 4K. The Darjeeling Limited out on Blu-ray, and County Lines out on DVD and Blu-ray. Of course, if you're an Empire reader, there is a good chance that you're still buying physical media, and why shouldn't you? And on the very back page, classic scenes, standout sequences from great movies. They talk about The Pawnbroker, this time chosen by the legend Albert Brooks, about this, so about this particular scene, which I like. So, for me, it's a 9 out of 10 magazine. No Ed Duke 23256. I do not want big follows. Big follows in your area. For me... For me, it's a 9 out of 10. Are there any pretzels left, or is that the last of the pretzels? God damn it. That is the last of the... Thank you for banning him, SK. That's 9 out of 10 for me, that magazine. It's a quality. Thank you very much. You are a good person. Anyway, 5 out of 10 from Mark Kenosis. Very good magazine, but film is a discredited medium. Okay. Makusho UK. Gary Sandbrook loves big follows. True. Right, so anyway, I think that was good. I actually think it's worth the money. It's a £5, but you get a lot of reading out of it, and the photography is nice. So, but also, if you want to read it for basically free-ish, if you you can get it on the magazine app that the libraries do, and also Apple News. 9 out of 10 from Tara Wrights, -1 because I'm jealous of not being in there. Comrade Wolfie, 9 out of 10. Nice design, good interviews. Slinker 9 out of 10. I do love a good, well-designed mag. Me too. So, from the sublime to the fucking awful, we move on to the newspapers. It's a 3-paper day. We're going to be covering the Mail, the Sun, and the Times. I did get the Mirror today, but I have to say 2 things. 1, don't have time for it. 2, it's quite boring, and I don't want to waste your time with that. So, let's start with the Times. Tiny Times. Yes, I hope they're not telling you about anyone important who's died, that the papers are telling you lots about. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, so, sorry, all right. Here is the Times. Top of the Times, Spas and Bars, the best bits for your back garden. I'm told that the Times is trying to lure more younger readers, but it constantly assumes that everyone has a fucking house and a massive back garden. Story at the top of the page, West condemns malign Russia. Basically for things that we do all the time also. Dukes to be kept apart at royal funeral makes it sound like it's West Ham and Millwall, rather than two princes whose cousin is standing between them because he's also a grandson of Prince Philip. Embryo made from monkey and human is the story. They killed these embryos at 19 days old, 20 days old, sorry. But yes, they had combined monkey DNA and human DNA. It's a very much just because they could doesn't mean they should. Okay, Comrade Wolfie, I don't speak Russian, so you're going to have to translate that one for me. Red Tixie, those dukes can't stand near each other or they'll start dueling. The picture of Prince Charles looking sad is another classic of this example where, you know, they take many, many pictures and then they pick the one frame where he's looking sad. If you look, Comrade Wolfie, okay, that translates as Soviet Union did nothing wrong. Right. Inside the paper, billionaire who met Bill Gates and decided to give away 100 million. Yeah, not enough. Give away the lot. M&S are suing Aldi over their caterpillar cake, claiming that it looks too alike. I don't think that's going to work well. M&S's caterpillar cake is called Colin, and Aldi's is called Cuthbert. The British store will ask a High Court judge to force its German counterpart to remove the product from sale and agree not to sell anything similar in the future. M&S launched Colin the Caterpillar, a decorated chocolate roll sponge cake, in 1990 and estimates that it's produced more than 15 million of them. It describes the cake as everyone's go-to party favourite. Connie the Caterpillar has also been produced, plus a range of mini caterpillars and an extra large version. If M&S wins, just start selling a butterfly cake. I'm pro Cuthbert. Mark Knossos, you can't copyright the act of alliterating a caterpillar. Not really. I want coin cake, says Red Tixie. Yes, coin cake forever. By the way, I ordered the coin yesterday. It may take 6 to 8 weeks to arrive. Can you imagine? Queen made tough decisions to cut mourners from 80 to 300, is what the palace has been briefing the Times. Prince Philip has died. Philip went back to his roots with choice of insignia for his altar. Duke remained loyal to fun-loving father who abandoned him. Jesus Christ. Charles takes a moment to reflect amid sea of tributes. BBC defends its coverage after complaints. The defence is not convincing. Boris Johnson lit a candle of remembrance for the Duke of Edinburgh yesterday during a visit to the Naval College in Dartmouth, where Prince Philip was first introduced to Princess Elizabeth. Remember that she was 13 at the time. Red Tick holy shit, Prince Philip died. When did that happen? Dan Jones, I don't know about you, M&S, but my go-to party favourite is a half bottle of JD and silence. Excellent. Sleggemeyer, how long does it take to snap a passport photo of Philip on a brass disc? I know, imagine. Yeah, you will have forgotten about the coin, and then I will open the show by starting with the coin. By the way, do note that the coin is... Hang on. The coin is up there. The coin is up there. Look, I've got the coin on the screen. £100,000 up in smoke after cigar dispute. A pair of rich people tried to sue their tenant. And they ended up getting screwed. They ended up screwed because the judge decided they were basically liars, which is hilarious. Johnson, the Saudi royal, and the NUFC bid is how the Times finally gets round to that story. And they claim, Stephen Swinford claims, and he's constantly being dripped stuff by the government, that tougher lobbying rules are on the table to head off claims of cronyism. This is what they said last time. They will leave plenty of holes in them for MPs to exploit. Saudi deal, sob on the Tyne 3. Nice. A university is dumbing down standards by dropping requirements for good spelling, a minister has said. Michelle Donnellan, the university's minister, told MP she was appalled at the decision by the University of Hull to scrap the need for students to be able to meet literacy standards in assessments, and said the government will act. Oh, fuck off. This is just such a load of horse shit, isn't it?
Missed it.
Oh, fucking hell. I'll say it again because I want you to tell me about Michelle Donnellan, university minister, telling MP she was appalled at the decision by the University of Hull to scrap the need for students to be able to meet literacy standards in assessments, and said the government will act. Bullshit. There we go. That's all I wanted. NHS will take years to clear waiting list to 4.7 million patients, is the claim. Well, maybe the government could invest more. Comrade Wolfie, for fuck's sake, I teach English and spelling. English spelling is just made up bullshit with no fucking rules, pretty much. Whiter than white paint can knock the spots off aircon. There's white as a sheet or white as driven snow, and even white as a ghost. Now there's impressive, though less poetic, white as heterogeneous surface of barium sulfate particles. Scientists claim to have created the whitest white, a paint that I thought that was Toby Young, a paint that repels 49 photons out of every 50 that land on it, and radiating the heat from the 50th back into space. The goal is not to dazzle onlookers, but provide a low-cost alternative to air conditioning. McHugh Show UK, making me spell good is taking away my freedom of speech on campus. Guaranteed they still mark for clarity. Also, everyone has spell check now. You shouldn't get marks for it either way. Well, you're not allowed to mark down, are you? Yeah. No. But you do tell them it will make it harder to understand if they are crappy at it, yeah. Attenborough hails remarkable return of wildlife. Offer of asylum in Britain for ousted Myanmar envoy. That's good. Paul Goodman, the editor of Conservative Home, says civil service may yet dodge hard rain reform. Dominic Cummings' reform proposals have new life, but only if PM is willing to act. Oh, fuck off. Chronotherm, repelling 98% of photons is what I do with friends. Nice. The idea of Bitcoin going green is laughable, writes Ed Conway. Correct. Gerard Baker, the hard right former Washington Post guy, says Biden faces battle on many foreign fronts. Birthdays today. Pope Emeritus Benedict the 16th is 94. Baroness Joan Bakewell is 88. Ellen Barkin, the actress, is 67. Max Beasley, the actor, is 49. Nick Berry, the actor, is 58. Rufus Bird, the surveyor of the Queen's Works of Art until 2021, is 47. Anthony Blinken, US Secretary of State, is 59. Thomas Stoner, Lord Camoys, the Lord Chamberlain till the year 2000, is 81. Margrethe II of Denmark is 81. Paul Dreschler, Chairman of London First. Bibby Line Group is until 2020. And the president of the Confederation of British Industry until 2018 is 65. Lynn Franks, the leading public relations consultant for the fashion industry, is 73. Vince Hill, the singer of Edelweiss, is 87. Henri, Grand Duke of Luxembourg, is 66. Ruth Maddock, the actress from Heidi High, is 78. Conchita Martinez, the tennis player, is 49. Hubert Minnis, Prime Minister of the Bahamas, is 67. Vadim Muntageryov, the ballet dancer, a principal of the Royal Ballet, is 31. Jimmy Osmond, known for long-haired lover from Liverpool. Long-haired lover from Liverpool is 58. Sir Geoffrey Owen, the editor of the Financial Times until 1990, is 87. Anna Della Rosso, editor-at-large of Vogue Japan, is 59. Anya Taylor-Joy is 25. Bobby Vinton, the singer of Blue Velvet, is 86. Sir Frank Williams, the founder of Williams Formula One Racing, is 79. Sir Nicholas Young, chief executive of the British Red Cross until 2014, is 69. Nice. The last word goes to John Robinson, the economist, in Economic Philosophy 1962. The misery of being exploited by capitalists is nothing compared to the misery of not being exploited at all. Fuck off. That is bullshit. And we move on. We continue to move on. In the Times 2 Nomadland, the women who made this year's Oscar favourite and the real story behind it. Chloe Zhao, Frances McDormand on the cover there. Great. Various reviews and stuff in Times 2. Can't be bothered to go through that today. Satnam Sangara says, call me by my name. It's not that difficult, but it's not Satnav either. He said he was struck by the news that the actress Thandie Newton is reverting to the original Zimbabwean spelling of her first name, Thandiwe, 30 years after her name was inadvertently anglicised in the credits of her first film. Following the footsteps of Ben Bland, the BBC journalist who recently changed his name to Boulos to celebrate his Sudanese Egyptian heritage, it's the first time I recall someone this side of Cat Stevens willfully unsimplifying their name. Felt like a bold move to someone who spent his life having his Punjabi name mangled, Satan, Samantha, Satnav, Shatman, etc., and who, as a result, sometimes shortens it to Sam for an easier life. It also makes me wonder, decades after immigrants of my parents' generation turned every other Surinder into Sue and every other Giuseppe into Joe, whether our business world might finally be developing a tolerance for foreign names. Ayo, studying fangirl, how you doing? Yeah, very cursed background. I promised you a cursed background, and that's what you got. Yes, that film has a certain level of propagandistic element for Amazon. I think that needs looking into more. It was a story we discussed yesterday on the show. And in the sport, Fiery Evans stuns Djokovic. Dan Evans knocked out the world number one Novak Djokovic in a stunning upset at the Monte Carlo Masters yesterday. Tokyo duties may hold up Fury Joshua. Anthony Joshua's trainer will be expected to fulfill his duties as performance director for British Olympic boxing team in Tokyo, meaning that the £200 million super fight with Tyson Fury will have to be pushed back to later this year. And Arsenal have coasted into the semi-finals of the Europa League with a 4-0 win against Slavia Prague. Is that Roger Boys in the background? No, there's no picture of Roger Boys there on the cursed background. Give me your scores for the Times. For me, it's a minus 69, let's say, a classic. Right. We're going to be out the door by Racist FC in the mud. Yep. A 0 from Jane Pickering. Back in the room. Hi, Jane. Good to see you. Okay. Moving on to the Sun. Very quick run from the Sun through the Sun, and then a very quick run through the Daily Mail, because I have to go and deliver a plant to my gran. Who's between Keith and Boris? Between Keith and Boris is what's his fucking name? The awful guy from the Telegraph, used to be Theresa May's chief of staff. Is one of the oldest, baldest man in the world. I've written about him before. Oh, it'll come back to me. Yeah, you do know who it is. You remember him from his beard phase. Yeah. Nick Timothy, correct. Correct, Mark Kenosis. Can we have an hour-long deep dive into the latest Adrian Childs article in The Guardian? I could do it next week, certainly. Right, The Sun. Sun, front cover. Brothers at arm's length. Wills and Harry kept apart at funeral. If you want more on this story and the general fuckery around Prince Andrew, do read today's newsletter, brokenbottleboy.substack.com. Charles Moore is second from right, but he isn't Roger Boys, but he does redacted. Yeah. Across that, you've got Alistair Campbell, Keith, Nick Timothy, Boris Johnson, Matthew Goodwin, Piers Morgan, Charles Moore, and Andrew Neil. It's a buffet of literal and philosophical baldness. Right, inside the Sun, no page 3 that isn't page 3 today, because they go for a spread of Prince Charles looking sad at all the tributes and brothers' distant relations. More pages on Prince Philip, one last goodbye. A full-on map of how the funeral's going to go, including top-down diagrams of where everyone's going to stand. Strictly Come Dancing is allegedly trying to get Chris Whitty to appear. I mean, I think that's bullshit. Very unlikely to happen. No records kept of Cameron Mandarin's second jobs. No records exist of top Mandarins who are allowed to take second jobs. Well, David Cameron was PM, and after the Sun can reveal, I expect that that's come straight out of government as they attempt to really nail him, because Boris Johnson loves that. Holy shit, Prince Philip's dead, says Slinkermeyer. On page 11, flash Halle. Halle Berry gives a sultry glance over her shoulder. And then on the same page, flush Harry. Harry Styles is is worth £28 million, apparently. One Direction's Harry Styles cemented his position as the boy band's richest star, with his recording firm now worth £28 million. Long Good Friday, 1.6 billion bonanza for pubs and shops. Revellers prepare for all-day sessions today. They're calling it a Fab Friday. On page 15, new babies, Joss Lovely. Joss Stone's had a baby, and there's a picture of the child. Tomorrow in the Sun, a collector's edition magazine with Prince Philip, who's died, by the way. Red Tick Seed, holy shit, Prince Philip died. When did that happen? Mark Kenosis, are bio-dragons a thing? If it is, my name is Cameron Mandarin. Nice. Oasis, Lennon Gallagher looks like his dad. That's a story. You know, son of man looks like man. Glad, Mad and Bad by Ulrika Johnson. After Shadow's drug shame, TV host reveals show seedy side. Oh, that's very nice of you, Ulrika Johnson, you piece of shit. They give, for the front, for the headline on their coverage of the Colin Cuthbert Caterpillar clash, they go with Copy Caterpillar. Not the best. Lottie Moss has gone outside wearing a dress. That's worthy of a story, apparently. This is a funny story. There's little, like, snooping holes in a gate so that the man's huskies can look out, and you can see all their little eyes and noses looking out. Liam Gallagher, a man who thought he had coronavirus, turned out his house was just hot. Yeah, that was funny. I mean, it was self-deprecating, really. James May, confession that'll make Clarkson wince. I've been cycling, not driving, and now I'm well buff. Is that right? Good story about James May is that he got fired from a car magazine that was published by one of my old employees for writing, telling the editor to fuck off in an acrostic, which is pretty funny. Tonight's picks on the TV or streaming services: The Year Earth Changed on Apple TV+, Trip Hazard, Channel 4, 8:30pm with Joe Wilkinson, travelling with Rosie Jones on a trip to North York resort of Whitby. Have I Got News for You? Back at 9pm. No, thank you. The Graham Norton Show is on BBC One at 10:45, featuring Kylie Minogue, George Clooney, Tom Hanks, and Hugh Grant. Lee Mack says that he once cleaned his oven like mad when he took cocaine. In Fab Daily, shops are tops for your health. Is that right? Various ecological trousers that you can wear that use less water to produce than others. The £50 letter comes from Rocky Webster, who goes, unseen photos of Prince Philip that the royal family are now sharing are a joy to see. I love the picture of him and the Queen with their 7 great-grandchildren. These images give the public an insight into the royals' private lives. Yes, that's the whole point. It's propaganda, Rocky, mate. Mark Kenosis, James May sacked from a car magazine for pissing in a part plot in the office. He wasn't even drunk. Tom Jones's new album, Surrounded by Time, gets 5 stars. They're trying to sell you a Harry Potter Hogwarts Castle lamp. This available for nearly £200. It's really ugly. Whomst among us hasn't pissed in a pot plant, says Comrade Wolfie. You pissed on a roundabout? Mini roundabout. Still trying to sell you funeral insurance. And on the back page, Slick, rampant gunners storm into semis, but sick, skipper Albert in malaria shock. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has malaria. Get well soon. Right, so that's a minus 69 for me for the Sun. Terrible paper in many ways. Quick roll call, then we're going to steam through the Daily Mail and we will be out of here for this week. I'm the Broken Bottle Boy, of course. Follow me on Twitter at Broken Bottle Boy. SQK the Crusader is in the mod squad. Do check out his streams tonight and over the weekend, guaranteed to be worth your while. Andrew84 is in the chat, as are Aiton, Carbot14XYZ, Casino Thanks, Commander Root, Community Force for small streamers, Comrade Two-Face, Comrade Wolfie, Dan Jones, 3142, Everybody Loves Raymondo, Ferrosol, Glyconic Moment, Industrial Pet, Jane Pickering, the excellent Jane Pickering, KJ of O2, also excellent, Mark Kenosis, ever reliable in the chat, as is Mercutio UK, Pudsey Cat, good to see you, Red Tick Seed, shocked to learn that Prince Philip is dead, Slinker Meyer, equally shocked, Studying Fangirl, a stalwart of the chat, Torms, good to see you, Tara writes, chat veteran, the Royal Flush is here, VNK are here, and Virgo Pros. Thank you all for joining me today. Right, straight on to the Daily Mail. Mark Kenosis, honestly, if William and Harry get in a fight at the funeral, it will just might make me a monarchist. Yeah, fight. +1 for the Huskies, minus $1 billion for pure shite is Chronotherm's review of The Sun. Negative my balls from Comrade Wolfie. Negative triple nice from Slinker Meyer. Minus 100 just terrible from Mark Kenosis. And the classic 0 from Jane Pickering. Right, Daily Mail. Agony of Charles, a picture of Greece. Again, they've picked a frame where he looks sad. The main story, brothers apart. We've covered that in the other papers. They have a little... They, like the others, have a diagram of how people will stand during the funeral. God, that tape is loud. But it's necessary. What's that? I know, but it's necessary. It's just very loud. They've got a whole double-page spread on his custom Land Rover. Red Tixie says, holy shit, Prince Philip died. When did that happen? They do love a bullshit diagram in the Mail. Various pictures of the practices for the funeral. Boris in tribute to Duke's naval career. Don't miss tomorrow. How to navigate the momentous day with the Mail's complete order of funeral service and graphic. Jesus Christ. Of course, I will be getting that and going through that on my Twitter feed. Anyway, a who's who of who the mourners are. Another glossy magazine in tomorrow's Mail. A breakdown of all his medals, those he earned and those he didn't. Range Rover stuff is just weird as fuck. I agree with you, Comrade Wolfie. Travel bosses demand border crisis is fixed as they label 7-hour queues inhumane. Residents trapped in care homes. Rules that insist they must isolate for 2 weeks after each day out is blatant abuse of their human rights. I think it's a bit ridiculous. Tom Utley is awful. Not going to bother even going through his column. Richard Littlejohn is even more awful. Their coverage of the Cuthbert versus Colin cake row is Cuthbert the copycat pillar. So pretty much the same headline as The Sun. Red Tixie, not sure I wanted to see what Prince Philip's funeral would look like in an isometric RPG, but thanks, I guess. Isn't publishing the exact timing and location of each royal something of a security risk? I guess, but the security operation will be huge. Are there 22 more green seals? That's how many business chiefs have access to number 10, like financier in lobbying scum. Oh, if they dig in, they'll find plenty of corruption in Boris Johnson's buffet of self-interest. Hybrid human and monkey embryos are made in a lab. Of course, the Daily Mail writes about it in the most scaremongering way possible. More stuff from Giles Brandreth writing about his friend Philip. Charles is a romantic, I'm a pragmatist, and that's the difference between us, is what Prince Philip allegedly told him. Another picture of the Huskies looking out through the fence. Look out, it's those nosy Huskies with their very own spy holes. At least they're not Husky glory holes. Better than air conditioning the world's whitest white paint. Well, of course, the Daily Mail would be interested in the whitest whiteness possible. Janois says, without uniforms, the royal mystique becomes threadbare. I think the royal mystique became threadbare when we heard the phone call of Prince Charles fantasizing about it being his mistress's now wife's tampon. Or the toe-sucking thing. Or the... I mean, there's so many. On this day, April 16th, 1942, the Daily Mail wrote, coal, gas and electricity are to be rationed on a points system which will come into force in a few weeks. You will be able to spend your points on the form of fuel needed. The first rationing period may be retrospective, so those who paid no attention to appeals and warnings to go easy may for a time find themselves short of points to spend. Born on this day in 1921, Sir Peter Ustinov. Also born on this day in 1947, Jerry Rafferty, known of course for Stuck in the Middle with You by Steelers Wheel, and Baker Street, which does not feature Bob Holness. Comrade Wolfie. Oh no, without uniforms, they might just be a bunch of inbred weirdos. Giles Brandreth absolutely loving this so much. He hasn't gone softer than a semi since Phil died. The facts are the facts. On this day, April 16th, 1705, Queen Anne knighted Isaac Newton. In 1912, American aviator Harriet Quimby became the first woman to pilot an aircraft across the English Channel. And the quote of the day comes from Alan Clark's diaries. There are no true friends in politics. We're all sharks circling and waiting for traces of blood to appear in the water. Dream to beat stress. That's the final part of their Sleep Better series. They also say you should have a dream journal. Can't be bothered. Happy birthday to your mum, Dan Jones, 3142. I hope she has a nice day. They review Promising Young Woman and give that 4 stars. That's on Sky Cinema now. The historic front page of the Daily Mail they reproduce today is One Can't Believe You're 80. Other stories they reproduce, as he admits, I'm a grumpy so-and-so. They call him a daredevil. Fuck off. Daredevil Duke. And after 22,219 engagements, he bows out with one last quip. Which was their story in 2017. Happy birthday, yes, to Dan's mum. Coins. Ladies and gentlemen, coins.
No.
In commemoration of the deadliest war in world history,
No more coins.
your set of World War II coins.
No more coins.
Coins. Coins, 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 coins.
No more coins. No
Coins.
More coins.
I'm not buying these ones because these coins, available in only 999 sets, they come with a Winston Churchill glass paperweight and a luxurious wooden case, will cost you
Lots.
5 installments of 20 quid.
No fucking way, man.
Or the full amount of £99.75. In the book reviews, of course, they review books about war, biography of Barbara Pym. Their recommendation in the TV thing today is World Most Scenic River Journeys. Today in the cartoons, Garfield's just hanging out, talking to people. Chloe and Co are sat down and drinking. And Fred Bassett goes out and encounters the scary dog from down the road, so decides to go back inside. In the straight to the point letters today, Jay Rowland of Dawlish says, The Queen will never walk alone. The whole country will always be beside her. James Ingleby says, tell Harry and Andrew that Prince Philip's funeral is not about their egos. George Cook says, welcome to spring. I was mowing the lawn in bright sunshine when I was suddenly pelted with hailstones. Yes, you live in Britain. Chris Stansfield says, forget awful tasteless imported strawberries. Delicious red juicy British ones are back in the shops. Fucking hell. Save Fred. Love to the person in the room, says studying fangirl, which is nice.
Thank you for me.
Recipe of the day, lamb chops with thyme and Greek Tippity? Don't know what that is. What's that? Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay. Anyway, they look tasty. Hashtag...
Dinner?
What's that?
Are we having dinner?
I don't know, something freaking delicious. They trying to sell you independent living places, life insurance, crappy holidays, horrible furniture. Yeah. And on the back page, rapid fire. Gunners score 3 goals in 6 minutes to storm into Europa League last 4 PFA changed concussion sub rules and 1 Premier League match for home fans. Finally, Dulux red-faced over Spurs' dusty trophy cabinet. Right, that is the Daily Mail and our last paper for the week. For me, it's a -1,000. Give me your scores, and as I just tell you, the usual stuff to end the show. Of course, if you've enjoyed the show and you want to support the show, it would be good if you can throw some coins into the newspaper fund. PayPal.me/conquest of the useless. Comrade Wolfie says, I really hope Arsenal crash out. Their season is hilarious. Ged Station gives it all the zeros. Jane Pickering in with the classic Jane Pickering 0. Mark Kenosis with the -100. Red Tick Seat with minus all the 9s. Comrade Wolfie -1,000. Slinker Meyer with a -triple negative. Nice. A plus 0.1 for War Coins from Red Tick Seed. Yeah, thank you, Mark Kenosis. Glad you enjoyed the show. Dan Jones, 3142. Enjoy Norwich's promotion and your grand's plant. I will do. It's actually my mum's plant, but it's going to my grand's. Yeah, my parents' plant. Yeah, exactly. Studying Fangirl rates the Daily Mail a -leaked tampon fantasy phone call. And there is the plant passing by. Terror writes -1,000. Fuck that paper. And a chronotherm -coins. Right, I will see you next week. I will see you on Monday at 1 p.m. for our next run in the show, when we will finally be doing the Monocle magazine special. So expect some of the most embarrassing centrist dad stuff ever. Plant stream when? Never. I don't know enough about plants. Right. Have a great weekend, everyone. Of course, if you need me or just want to send me anything or talk to me, catch me on Twitter at Broken Bottle Boy. Otherwise, I'm away. Bye-bye.